Hello and welcome to another video on Autofunk. Today is something different. It's not going to be ZR1 content. So if you're only interested in the Corvette, skip the video, don't watch it, it's probably not for you. This is a for sale video for my 2006 Land Rover Discovery 3. Just going to give you guys a quick walk around. You've probably seen it in the background of some of the Corvette videos that we've done. And it's basically an advert for the car. But if you're interested in it, stick around and have a look. This is a super cool Discovery 3 and I'm really sorry to see it go. I've had 4 or 5 Disco 3s and Disco 4s consistently over the past few years, and they've always been amazing cars, and the only reason for getting rid of this is that I've upgraded to a new Defender, which I'll do a video on soon. But yeah, super cool cars, 7 seats, off-road capability. You can put a roof tent on them, you can basically drive them anywhere because they're amazing 4x4s. Loads of space in the back so you can use it as a van. Very comfortable on long journeys. If you haven't driven a Disco 3 or Disco 4, you're missing out. They're really good, and I am genuinely going to miss this one. This particular car, in my opinion, is in the best colour, which is the dark metallic green, which I can't remember the paint code right now, but it will come to me. The spec of it is like light overland, would you say? So it's got upgraded big spotlights on the front, a snorkel. There's a big bash plate down here, and then if we look down the side, we've got some nice chunky tyres, which are General Grabber all-terrain tyres on the larger wheels, and then there's the rock slider bars down there to protect your sills when you're off-roading. But they also, especially if you're short like me, double up as a handy step. So if you've got a roof rack on the top, you can access your roof rack. And they're much better than the Land Rover stylish ones because they bend. They're not really designed for off-road use. They're more for mall crawler use. If you watch LR Time, or you know, if it's a yummy mobile and you've got to get your kids to hop up in the back, they're fine for that. But if you're going to go off-roading, you need these beasties. It's also got the light protectors, which I think give it a nice look on the headlights and on the rear. Privacy glass, to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the privacy glass, but it is good if you're storing valuables and you don't want people to see what's in there. Also, like us, if you use it for ferrying dogs around, it keeps animals cool. So this particular one has got the standard Land Rover detachable tow bar. I have installed, I don't know if you can see it, a locking plate so that it can't fall off, because they're prone to having problems apparently, although I've never had an issue with them. I've towed several cars, towed my Impreza with this, I've towed a couple of Corvettes, and it's amazing. Towing machine, parking sensors on the rear, bit of dentage going on there. You could get a paintless dent guy to fix that, but to be honest, I'm not bothered. Doesn't really bother me for what the car is. And if you look underneath the car, I don't know if you can see it on the video, let's try and zoom in. In fact, what we'll do, we'll go freehand on the camera, and then under there it's got a full-size spare. Basically, it hasn't got the crappy space saver. It's got a spare alloy wheel with a really knobbly tyre on there, so if you need to change the tyre, you're going to be good to go with that, no space saver. Also, genuine Land Rover mud flaps on the rear. Now I'm freehand, I suppose I may as well just walk around with the camera a little bit. So this particular car has done about 168,000 miles, which I guess is quite high, but in Land Rover terms it's not particularly high. My last one has done over 200,000, still in the family, and it's still working. You'd still trust it to get you to Scotland or France or wherever. But look at that, I think these are just a super cool car. What I liked about this car when I bought it is I like that everything was done in terms of like the off-roady stuff, which to be honest I don't really use. It occasionally gets driven on a field, but I'm not into off-roading. I've not personally taken this on any off-road courses or anything. But yeah, the overall look of it's cool. It just looks sort of nice and country. The previous owners upgraded the seats, and it's got the soft leather, I think they're out of a HSE or they were an optional extra, seats with the captain's armrest. So it's got super comfortable electric seats. They're not heated. The seats are heated, but the loom in the car is not for a heated seat, so I think that's a bit of a pain to retrofit. So they're not heated, but they're really comfortable. Much nicer than the cloth and much nicer than the other leather. It's got lots of perforated squares in them. That's how to tell the difference between the premium leather and the standard leather. The standard leather's got squares on the seat base, and it's not very good quality. It often rips. This is much better. And obviously all 7 seats have the upgraded leather, wash down rubber mats on the floor. No sunroof, which you might see as a negative, but in my experience the sunroof always leaks on these. So again, that's a plus for reliability. And jump in, it's a 3-pedal car. So again, if you're wanting one to do some overlanding in, you're probably better off with a manual gearbox. They drive really well. The manual gearbox is a slick 6-speed gearbox. The clutch is really light on it. It's not difficult to drive, and I think they're much more reliable than the automatics of this era. And here is a quick look at the interior from the driver's seat. So you can see no warning lights. Obviously I've got the seatbelt light on there and the low fuel light. Cockpit's nice and clean. There is some like scratch marks on there which is a little bit irritating, but you could probably replace that quite cheaply. What's nice about this car is it's got an Apple CarPlay stereo with a really good solid foam mount. So in terms of connectivity, you're well and truly covered. You've got an Android phone or an iPhone, you can just basically, you know, use it like you would do in a modern car due to the phone connectivity with Android Auto or CarPlay, so that's really cool. And yeah, the interior is nice and clean. It's definitely not totally buggered. 4 electric windows, etc. The headlining is also pretty good. Overall, it's a really nice place to be actually, and it's a lovely car to drive around in. No cracks on the windscreen. Obviously, being a Discovery 3, you get a lovely commanding view of the road due to its high driving position and stuff. So yeah, there you go. There's a quick look around from the driver's perspective. In the boot, we have got 7 seats, which I won't get out. Again, a genuine Land Rover mat. My number plate's not included, so when I sell the car, it will be on that registration. Snoggoim. Snowgo YM. Snowgoim. I don't know. It's quite a nice plate anyway. It's not the worst number plate. I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't know what you're like. Tell me in the comments. I always try and sort of make a word out of the number plates. But yeah, that will be going back on the car. So 168,000 miles. The car's had a remap. Obviously, it's had all the off-roady bits put on, which is quite nice. Drives really well. There's no faults with it. The parking brake's fine. The air suspension's all fine. The air suspension does lower itself down if you leave the car standing for about a week. The air suspension drops. I'm not sure whether that's normal or whether there's a problem with it, but as you can see now, it's absolutely spot on, and I'll demonstrate all of the different settings. The other thing on these cars is the parking brake never ever works. I've had a few of these Discoveries and the parking brake just never works, but I'm going to demonstrate the suspension now, and I'm also going to demonstrate the parking brake. You'll be able to hear it go on and off. So parking brake is off, on, off, on, no issues with it. It's absolutely perfect, and it's nice and grabby. Air suspension will go down. We'll go all the way to the top. think that's reached its limit, and then back down to the normal ride height. On the road, these cars are so nice to drive as well. They're such a comfortable cruiser. It's just a very pleasant place to be. I think they're amazing value. I know they've got a reputation for reliability, but in my experience, I can honestly say I've never broken down in one. So yeah, I don't know, for some reason, they've got a reputation for not being reliable, but this one's been perfect. I just want it to go to a new home. I'm not asking for massive money, not asking huge amounts of money. You know, about 3 grand would buy it. It's going to be advertised for slightly more, but yeah, realistically, if someone gives me 3,000 for this, I'll be happy. And it's got a lot of expensive upgrades on, you know, the sill protectors and the snorkel and stuff like that. If you bought a standard car and wanted to fit those on, you'd be into probably over £1,000 for that to be done. But yeah, hopefully you can see it's a nice little disco. It's ready for its new owner. I would, without hesitation, drive this car anywhere. I've driven it up and down the country countless times. It's taken us on holiday. It's taken us across fields. Like I say, I've towed with it. I don't really know what else to say. I guess I've not really talked about the service history. I mentioned it had a remap. The service history is up to date. I can't remember off the top of my head when the timing belt was changed. I think it had a clutch 40,000 miles ago, so there's evidence of a clutch change. Yeah, get in touch if you've got any questions. Let me know if you want to come and drive it. I'm in Nottingham, and hopefully can find a buyer for it. So that's all. It's only a short one. Thank you so much for watching. More updates on the ZR1 coming very soon. Like I said in previous ZR1 videos, we're struggling to find the time to film, so it's a little bit tricky at the moment. Today's a nice day, but the weather has not been good this year. It's not been in our favour, and we have to film when basically outside of work, and then the videos have got to be edited and stuff, so it's a tricky one. But I hope you enjoyed looking at the Disco 3. If you were curious about it, maybe you've seen it now. I will do a video on my new Defender, which I'll insert a photo of now, and see you around for the next one.